Greetings and welcome everybody to this week's episode of UC Weekly News. I'm your host as always, David Danto, and I'm here in Denver at this Commercial Integrator Expo, CEDIA Expo. I'm sitting here in the IMCCA booth. We have some awesome equipment from Cisco that I'm going to show you in a little bit, and we'll do some walking around the show floor and kind of give you a sense of what's going on. A Commercial Integrator Expo, it's a sort of a smaller version of some of the big AV industry trade shows. There are a number of manufacturers here. You can see Crestron back there. As I said, Cisco is exhibiting, and there are a few others here as well. And then obviously CEDIA is the residential show, and we have a lot of things going on. We're teaching a bunch of courses. I'll show you some of those things. I'll be up on the main smart stage in a couple hours, and I'll show you a little bit of that. So stay with us. This is going to be a good show. So we're now at Commercial Integrator Expo, CEDIA Expo.
You know, the last time I was at the show, it was in Denver.
Right.
So I only go to the show when it's in Denver.
It's only been in Denver the last couple of years. They've just started with the Commercial Integrator part of it. So we have Cisco is here, and Crestron is here, and Aurora and a few other Commercial Integrator companies. But this is also the residential show. So you've got a lot of residential people.
It's got a history as a residential show.
Right, it's only the residential show. So let's go over there. We're going to head over to the IMCCA booth. I think that's where the Cisco people are.
And it looks like Katie McFarland is over here. Hello, Katie.
Hi, Dave.
Good. Do you use a Desk Pro?
I do. So I use a Desk Pro in my home office and offices throughout the building. We either have them in a small huddle space, sometimes those phone booths, or even on the hot desking station.
And so if you go to a different Cisco office, can you just go up to a Desk Pro and log in with your Cisco credentials?
You can. So we have that proximity through our application where it would recognize that Katie is in the building and I'm able to tether to the device, yes.
So that's the proximity in the WebEx app on your phone pairing with the device.
Yep, or my laptop.
And then, you guys have all kinds of stuff going on. You've also got your Cisco Spaces in the place.
Yes.
And that's got like wayfinding with your Wi-Fi.
Yes, and access points, yes.
Yeah, and I was in the New York UBC, and I really like those light harvesters. The idea is that if you have a lit up room because the windows, that it detects that and turns off the lights. Good stuff. Yes. So this is the little brother?
Yeah, so this is a little brother. There's actually a middle child, though, that's not here today. This is the desk. There's a Desk Pro that's 24 inches, and then this is the Desk Mini. So this is the smallest.
This is the desk or the Desk Pro?
This is the Desk Pro.
Okay, so we're missing the desk.
Yes, we're missing the desk.
So this whole theme is about desk, and you didn't bring the desk.
I know. We didn't bring the desk.
All right.
We're going to be discussing the future of work, which is a subject that nobody knows the answer to, not even us. And it's getting more confusing as every day goes by, but we're going to explore it and go through it. And ultimately, it didn't work. People didn't care. They said, I don't care if I'm going to get promoted or not. I'd rather make sure that I can spend time with my family and be productive at home. Stands what we lived through. And, you know, you've heard the quotes from a number of people about experiencing years of change and evolution in months. And now, with it thankfully being over, we've seen a lot of terms that we're talking about. Magnet on mandate, quiet quitting, hoteling, meeting equity. There's a lot of new things that we don't necessarily understand.
We have some customers that had a very traditional in-office experience before the pandemic, and they've been really struggling to get people to come back. And so we started initially, as people were slowly coming back to the office, we had companies that were giving mandates of you have to be in the office or you have to be in the office on certain specific days. And then we had people say, hey, go to the office when you want to go to the office, don't when you don't. And so I feel like we see still a mix today of that. And what our customers are really struggling that had that culture of the in-office, they're struggling, how do we find that culture and get people to want to come back? And so, you know, whether it's a hybrid approach or specific days of the week, it's all over the board.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely seeing a lot of things. I think, you know, there's an acknowledgement, right, that the offices that existed 5 years ago may not be, you know, conducive to the type of work they need to do today. I think as we've talked about before, if we're going to bring people back into an office, there has to be a reason. I mean, I hate driving. I don't want to drive anywhere, and I certainly don't want to drive 30 minutes somewhere to sit at a desk and be on a Zoom call. So if I'm going to come together, and there is certainly, you know, value in bringing people together for various activities, you know, they want to be able to have spaces that are conducive to those activities and trying to figure out, like, what makes those spaces places people want to come to.
So here we are, Commercial Integrator Expo, CEDIA Expo.
In Denver.
In Denver. I'm sitting here with Dave Michels at the what this is officially called the Colorado Convention Center at Denver, and you can tell
Big Blue Bear.
Big Blue Bear sitting in front of it. And you called this area home for a long time.
This still is home.
Well, it's home, and
I walked here.
And this is a residential.
Should have rented a scooter, but I walked.
Oh, is that what those lime green scooters are all over the place? They're just. Who's leaving their scooter outside? So this is an interesting show. Commercial Integrator Expo is about 3 or 4 years old. It's an
No. I've been to this show.
The Commercial Integrator part's an add-on to CEDIA.
Okay.
CEDIA has been around for decades, but the Commercial Integrator part is new. It's this idea of residential.
But I've been to this CEDIA show in Denver. I don't know, 15 years ago. Has it been here this whole time when I've been missing it?
No, it traveled around for a little while, went to some other cities. Then it was in Dallas 3 years ago, and then it came back.
And I came here because I was doing a lot of home automation, and I wanted to come down here and check out the home automation and talk to the pros. But the show's changed a little bit, what you're talking about. Now in UCAS, we often talk about convergence, voice and messaging and meetings and now events, and it just keeps on getting, now contact center just keeps on getting bigger and bigger. But I hadn't really thought about the convergence of home automation and home technologies with
enterprise
AV. I mean, this is explain this to me.
Well, it started when, for a long time, manufacturers were making different grades of product for enterprise and for home. 24-hour use, power supplies. But then when, a plasma and LCD TVs came out, everybody realized the manufacturers are making one product. They'd slick one label on it for commercial and sell it for twice as much as they would have it for their residential. And, the products kind of blend through. And now we have what that term resimercial, where, especially with people working from home, which we did at CEDIA for a few years before this show came out, that there are that tie into enterprise. Do you have a home office? Do you have home automation? Is it the same kind of automations you use for a conference room? So there are a lot of tie-ins and crossovers, and there are companies showing both sets of products here.
So Crestron, right when you walk in, they're loving this, right? They have all their home automation technology, and then look, there's a video bar, there's enterprise stuff. Are there other companies like that? I mean,
yes. There are a number of companies in the space that want to sell you products that or install products for your home, and they say, well, what are you doing for your small business? What are you doing for your medium-sized enterprise? Let's do that work as well. Everybody's trying to reach over to everybody else's territory, and the manufacturers are making products to make it possible.
And a lot of things are the same. I mean, I'm right behind you. You got a Cisco.
That's the Desk Pro. Right behind
that is a enterprise desktop appliance or a work from home appliance. I mean, it kind of fits in the mold too.
It's interesting. We've got some video that I'll share while we're talking, but we've got 3 products up on the table here in the IMCCA booth. Thank you, Cisco, for helping sponsor. We have a 9800 phone, and we have a Desk Mini, and we don't have the Desk, and then we have the Desk Pro. And everybody walks over to those 3 products, and they fall in love with the Desk Mini. It's small, it's compact, it's cute, it's got a handle.
Cisco always shows that like in a kitchen and stuff like that. So yeah,
I don't know who uses it that way, but people really like the idea that they can control. It's almost like an iPhone or an Android phone where you have all the capability right in front of you. You can do whatever you need to do, but you don't need to tie up a screen on your computer. And that's a perfect example of a resimercial product. That's not something that many people will put on their desktop in the office, but they will put it on their desktop at home.
And then the show floor is one thing, but of course there's content. Sessions, and you did the one yesterday on how to pick a collaboration solution,
right?
And so all these like AV people are like, what's collaboration? I mean, it was like it's like the worlds are colliding. I mean, this world doesn't like it.
Exactly. We did one today about the future of the offices and how do you have to design enterprise workspaces to be more than offices that people dread going back to.
We've got one tomorrow, the best one because I'm moderating. That's about knowledge workers.
People have changed. It's not the same people we sent home during the pandemic. They're smarter, they're younger, they're multi-generational, and we need to start building offices and facilities and technology for them, not for us old guys.
We've got some of our peeps here. We saw Dave Maldo is here. He's doing a session right now, I think.
Right. Dave is there with Kevin Keeler. They're both doing a session on smart homes and smarter offices, and we had a number of really good moderators here. And thank you for moderating the one tomorrow.
So do you think? Do you anticipate CEDIA will become a more of an enterprise event?
Well, it's interesting. If you think about it, ISE in Europe is essentially what this is.
That's a huge show.
They don't talk about it the same way, but the idea is that the CEDIA, the residential side, and the commercial side are together in one space, and they've been doing it that way for many years there, and that's what they're trying to do here. Now, this is not a hub location that everybody visits. It's not Florida. It's not Vegas. This is Denver, so you're getting a West Coast smaller audience, but there's a lot of interest in being able to look at both of them.
So, Crestron didn't bring their European booth. This is the small one.
Well, this is primarily their residential booth, but they've put some enterprise items in it as well because of the new commercial integrator show.
Oh, it's over here too. It's all over the place. Holy cow. So I ran into Kaylee Schaefer here at the CEDIA show. Kaylee, I know Crestron from enterprise events. I'm walking around your booth here. It's a lot of consumer stuff.
Yeah.
It's a whole other side of Crestron.
Yep.
Is it? Tell me about this.
Sure. So yeah, we've got a whole residential side of our business, which is great. It actually plays into not just homes, but we do hospitality, hotels. We also have a huge marine business. So playing into yachts and cruise ships. We just did the Icon of the Seas, that one that's been coming into Miami, which is really cool. So there's kind of two flavors of Crestron on the residential side. We've got our traditional custom programming that has been really popular with our dealers. But about 4 years ago, we introduced Crestron Home. And today at the show, we're kind of debuting our latest feature updates for what we're calling OS 4, which was our big grand reveal last year. And it's great because it's kind of a templatized version for our dealers to be able to repeat and be able to kind of just simplify their installation process. It's a nice, consistent user interface for our users as well, so you'll see that throughout the booth. It's a really nice system that kind of just ties everything together.
That's great. Now your booth is one of the largest ones here, but this is a small booth. I've seen your other booths. I mean, this is a tiny little booth compared to your other booths.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
We definitely do different scale, but there's still a lot.
And you've got concurrent events going on this week?
We've got some of the team out at Infocom India, playing with that region as well. And then, yes, CEDIA is a big focus here, and CIX expo. So.
All right. Well, I saw you had some enterprise stuff over there, so let's go take a look at that.
Okay, great.
Okay, so Kylie, now you're with the other Dave.
Yes.
We can argue whether it was the right Dave or the wrong Dave. We'll figure that out later. But let's talk a little bit about what you're doing on the enterprise side. This is the first appearance I've ever seen of your Video Bar 70 running Microsoft Teams.
Yes,
that's
the
going to be
first time we've shown it at the
very
show.
soon, right?
Yep. Yeah, very soon. We have that. It's orderable now, so talk to your local RSMs. Definitely get that in. But it'll be coming soon to Teams.
And that's one of the things that I did in my presentation where we talk about what you want to choose for enterprise products. You want to make sure that you have that ability to change at some point in the future. Now you're going to have another platform available for the device.
Absolutely.
So that's really good. And that's not the only thing that's coming up in the near future. Right? You're about to open a new facility in New York.
Yes, we do. So we have some soft opening events coming up, but October 15th is our grand opening of our new showroom in the city, which is we're really looking forward to, New York City. And it should be great. It's going to be a combination space where we'll have our residential products as well as our commercial. So kind of a nice hybrid like we're seeing at the show today.
Yeah, and hopefully I'll get a chance to walk through that in advance and give some people a sneak peek like we've been chatting about.
Absolutely.
I think Brad's excited about that. He's not here because he's at
Infocom India.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. Is there anything else that we should be looking at here that you guys are showing?
I mean, the one beyond cameras are always great to take a look at. And then some flashy stuff on the residential side over here. We do have nice glass keypads. So.
Okay, terrific. Thanks for joining us today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Things changed in the workplace. You know, this picture actually has computers on it, but they have pictures like this without computers. They have pictures like this with typewriters. They have pictures like this with carbon paper, fax machines, all kinds of stuff. This type of office is sometimes referred to as a spreadsheet.
Great, so I'm here in the Aurora Multimedia booth, and I'm not talking to Paul, and I'm not talking to Patty, but I'm talking to Hal, who's now
What's your new title?
I'm
Global Head of
recently
Sales and Marketing?
VP of Sales and Marketing globally. So I'm responsible for the business, basically everything but engineering.
Welcome to the company.
Oh, I'm really excited to be here. You guys know Aurora very well. We've been around 26 years, and pretty much everything we do is designed and manufactured in the United States, most of that in New Jersey. Paul Harris is the CEO, which many people know him. He's also the strongest engineer we have. So passionate about the industry, dedicated to saving the world from inferior products.
Terrific. So we're looking at one of the newer products. It's not brand new, but I know I've seen, and you're going to be growing this, right? Tell us what this is.
So this is part of our Reacts room, we call it. It's a UC platform, conference room platform. It can be used for a lot of things. We have a tablet-mounted one that can go outside of a room. You can do room scheduling and all types of things. But this has a speaker in it, and it's actually got a high-powered microprocessor. It's a computer. It's not a dumb tablet.
Right.
You can program anybody's name here. People can vote from this. But what's really cool about this is, the way we tried to solve conference room problems in the past. Small conference rooms use a auto-framing soundbar or a centralized speakerphone. Larger rooms use ceiling mics and speakers and dangling all this stuff. Regardless of those,
you're fighting physics in every one of those cases.
Yeah, you're fighting physics, right? You've got too much space and too much, the ambient noise level, right? Signal of noise is messed up. So some of the companies are doing much better than that with gooseneck microphones, and those have been around for years.
But gooseneck snap, people twiddle them, it doesn't look nice.
So this is a microphone, beamforming microphone, physics-based beamforming microphone, 7 microphones built into this that focuses right on, actually it'll service 2 people.
Sure.
And it's also got a really high-performance speaker in here. And what you can end up doing is turning the gain down, and you're getting natural voice.
Closer to
There's no reflected sound. It's directly into this. These hard surfaces, tables, floors, windows, which a lot of times are in conference rooms or classrooms, those all mess with the sound, right?
So we just wrote an article, and I'll put a link to it up on the screen so people can see it, describing that ceiling microphones are probably on their way out. Now that there's multiple layers of AI processing, we can now put microphones close to people. And some people agreed with it, a lot of people didn't agree with it because we're never going to put a microphone on the table. No, they break, they snap, they do other things. And look at how beautiful that would be for every person or every other person to have their own.
We've done it really, and I give Paul the credit of designing this so elegantly. But it's really a high-powered piece of equipment. It's aesthetically pleasing. I think it is. It's low enough. You can see everybody at the table.
You're not going to accidentally roll a pair of plans over it.
Right. Right now, our beamforming mic is physics-based, and that's 7 microphones. Like I said, we're going to layer on AI to increase the angular beamform to make it even more directional and reject ingress from other areas. And then the last thing we're going to do with AI is we're going to offer people that have assigned seating in conference rooms. I'm thinking like municipalities, the UN, NATO, those types of places. You can send us a soundbite of your voice or whoever's going to sit here. We will set the algorithm up, program the machine. We can do it it's on a network. We can do it from anywhere. So it only recognizes that speaker's voice, and no longer will people have to worry about the issues with sound masking and all the different things that are challenging. This is really straightforward. It's really efficient. Meetings will be less fatiguing. Intelligibility will increase, and you'll feel like you're really in the meeting.
How can people find out more about it?
Well, we can go to auroramultimedia.com. And
one word, auroramultimedia.com.
www.auroramultimedia.com. One big long string of letters. And it's really cool, and it launches in 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Hal, welcome to the company. Congratulations on everything.
Thank you very much.
We'll be in touch with you over a lot of things going
okay,
forward.
I'm excited. I'm really truly excited to be here.
So that's it for this week's UC Weekly News here from CEDIA Expo, Commercial Integrator Expo. Hope I gave you a sense of the flavor of what's going on at the show. And I'll be doing a bunch of traveling for the next couple of weeks, so we'll be chatting with some industry members and industry icons and talking about some of their new products and announcements. So look for that, but until then, we'll see you next week. Thanks very much.